In this session, we are going to see logical operators. Logical operators are very useful in bot decision-making process. In a TagUI, logical operators are of three kinds. It is AND, which basically both the conditions needs to satisfy, or both the condition needs to satisfy to execute the next statement. In a similar way, OR, any one condition needs to satisfy to execute the next state. And in the similarly, this should not satisfy to go through the next state. So which is in other programming languages or conventional JavaScripts or any programming language, typically it is used as 2 ampersand, or which is AND, we call it pipes, two lines, which is a pipes, and then exclamation mark, which is not, could be used in those conventional language. In TagUI, we just use simple plain English text, that is AND or not, from a logical operator stand. Let's see an example in detail and understand the implementation of logical operator. Let's see an example of logical operators. We'll go for the first example as and example. So let's say it is very helpful when you have to validate multiple conditions or validate some rules, multiple rules together or combination of certain rules. When both the rules satisfy, your statement gets executed. So in this particular case, let's say we take an example of issuing of a driver license. For issuing driver's license, we need to ensure that your age is above 18. In some part of the world it is 15, but let's consider above 18, and you have paid the fee to issue a driver license. So now it's two condition, right? So we'll see that example how we go about it. So for that, let's take two variables. We call that var age, and let's say that age value is 18, and then you say var and fee, another variable called fee paid, and let's say equal to yes. So on this example, issue driver license if age is greater than 18 and fee is paid, then issue license. This is the condition. So let's say this is our condition, and let's try to check these condition. So we say if, to check the condition we use if. So say var age greater than or equals to 18 and var fee paid equals to yes, and say echo. If this is satisfied, say condition satisfied, issue driver license. Here, if you really see, we are having two conditions. This is the condition number 1, and this is the condition number 2, and then we are connecting with AND. When this condition is satisfied, we execute this statement. Else, you can say, hey, condition not satisfied. Driver license denied. Let's save this and see how. And we say logical operator dot tag, and let's save this and see how it goes. So fire your Notepad++, and then in that say TagUI, and then say, let's execute this and see how it goes. Go and click on enter, and it's going to launch your thing, and you can see as expected both the conditions are satisfied. And see, for better viewability or easy to debugging, let's echo these variables. Say var age equal to var age and echo var fee paid equal to fee paid. and so that it looks correctly. Let's save this and run one more time to execute this. So you can see you have 18 and you have paid, and it says that condition satisfied, issue driver license. So test that. If it is not satisfying, what happens? Let's just update our code to no, and let's say save, and let's run one more time and see what result you get. You should get not satisfied. See, if this is no, you get the condition not satisfied because both the conditions are not satisfied. So this concludes AND statement. Let's go for an example with OR. So let's close this. Let's update the same example, and we just clear the screen so that we can come back. And so now AND is over. We'll see an example of OR. Now we see example of OR. OR means either one of the conditions should be satisfied. Let's say to issue a license, a document check. So let's say we're doing a document check. So document check requires two things like birth certificate or a passport. If any one is available, then you can issue or can be issued, right? So let's say we're doing a driver's document check for driver's license. So this is an example. So I've did it, document check for driver licenses. So if any one of the document is present, then driver license can be issued. Okay, so let's take two variables. So var birth certificate, and I say in this case by default yes. Say var passport as a second document, I say yes. Let's validate or verify this condition. Say if var birth certificate equals to yes, or var passport equals to yes, then echo condition satisfied, driver license can be issued, and we can say check complete, else we say hey, condition not satisfied, driver license cannot be issued, condition document check failed. We can say instead of saying complete, pass, and we can say failed, and let's save this. So for a differentiation, I'll just say echo and I would say or example. Copy this can update it as and example so that there is a difference. Save this and let's execute this. Go back here and run. So if you see, both the things would be executed and OR condition will also be executed. So if you see OR condition, so I'm not printing it because printing it those values, if you print it, we'll get it. But if you really see condition satisfied, document can be issued, check is passed. If you see, come here, we have these conditions, both one of the conditions satisfied. So let's say instead of saying to test this one more accurately, let's say no, and let's check it if still you see this details. And for our reference, let's echo these birth certificate equal to birth certificate echo and echo VR passport equal to VR passport and done. So this basically demarks the whole thing. And now let's run it and see if one of the condition is satisfied. Does what the result it shows. So it should still say the same value, which is document is passed. So let's make both of them false and see if the below value get executed. This condition should set get executed now because this condition is not satisfied. Both the conditions are failed. So let's run this and see the result. If you can see here, both the conditions are not satisfied. So condition is not satisfied, your document check failed. So this is OR condition, how OR works. So we'll see same thing. Not is similar to exempting any condition or any one of the conditions or reversing it. So instead of checking it true, yes, here we can always check for a, if it is not yes, then you execute the statement kind of thing. So not basically reverse or check for a negation, reverse of a true statement, and check if the condition is not satisfying, and then if it is true, then it will execute the statement. So not generally is negation, it's a reverse of a specific condition. So to check for the likelihood of a failure of that condition, and if that is satisfied, then it will basically execute and execute the statement. So let's say we'll take the same example which you have it here and use it with not, right? So we can just go and paste it. So you have these two condition. If I say not equals to 18 and fee not paid equal to yes, then I can say, hey, this condition does not satisfy. So not checks for not likelihood of it. So I'll say 17 and I say no, and we can just test this from a not standpoint. Not is the reverse of being true. So you can just click on. Oh, I see a problem. The problem is I missed this. So we had this statement. So that's the reason it was throwing an error saying that it's not correct. So let's remove this and save the code, clear the screen, and run it again. So it started and it is having and or not all the examples from a not standpoint. So this concludes our session. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.